Visionaries Global Media, your number one source for podcasting entertainment.
This is the JGB Wrestling Podcast?
No.
All right, we ready?
Yes.
And JGB Wrestling Podcast?
All right, welcome to the Big Kid, Little Kid Wrestling Podcast.
No, that podcast is all done because the co-host.
No.
The host decided to quit.
He didn't watch
No.
We watched 3 matches.
And,
Sorry, one.
and he takes too long to watch WrestleMania 1.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
All right, this is the MGB review of Pizza Party Wrestling's Bout. Clout 99?
Yeah.
Now, I'd watched some of this, and I said that I thought it was suitable for you, JJ, as well. I guess I wasn't paying too much attention to the commentary, but we managed to, luckily your hearing's not great, and we turned the volume down a bit. And it was. I thought it was a fun event. There was a few really cool events, actually, on IWTV this weekend. Camp Leapfrog, Paris is bumping. Unfortunately, none of them I didn't really think were necessarily suitable for you, or parts of them weren't. So, and then I watched Pizza Party Wrestling third, and then I saw this part. I was like, oh, this is fun. I think you guys are going to like this.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the Fight Island thing that we watched recently, with it being sort of like outdoors and using props, and I thought it was a cool one. So, the setup was, well, I don't know, perhaps you have it in your notes then, Mason. How did this come to be at the beginning? Do you want to talk about the intro?
The guy found, like a random guy, he found the tape in the woods and he played it.
A videotape.
Which how do you find like a random tape recorder player in the middle of the forest?
The story, I'm not sure if it was based on this, but the Blair Witch Project is a film where they find a video, and then they go watch it, and it's somebody who's supposedly making a documentary, and then those people went missing, and they were supposedly taken by the Blair Witch. So that was found in a forest. So I'm not sure if that was a similar thing. I think that was around that time when that came out as well, 99, because I'd heard about it in England, and then when I moved to the States, I was in North Carolina for a bit, but when I moved up here to Virginia, that place where that film is filmed is literally like an hour from where we live right now. Because people used to keep stealing the sign from the name of the town.
Why?
So I think because it was famous, because it was on a film.
Oh.
So I think that was the connection they made to that one. Anything else you have for the intro, JJ? Before we even get to matches?
I would like to get to the matches right now.
Oh, well, before we get to that, Mason's going to explain the format. So this was a tournament then. So go ahead, Mason.
So there was 4 people in the first match and 4 people in the second match.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be 2 pinfalls. The first person to get the pinfall would move to the second round, and then the second person to get a pin would also move to the second round. Mm-hmm. So both of those 2 matches,
but on opposite sides of the
draw. First guy would face the first guy who got the first pin would face the second guy in the other match. Mm-hmm. So you get to have a new competitor.
Now, I was dying with laughing while this was going on, because it was all set in like 1999, supposedly. They were all dressed in 90s clothes and whatever. And then you were like, what the heck's wrong with the quality for this?
What?
Do you remember?
Oh yeah, it kept going. It kept like having these weird noises
and crackling, and then the screen kept going. That's what videos used to be like. Like, you guys are spoiled. Like,
that's unwatchable.
You have high definition stuff.
That's actually watchable because I actually liked it a lot.
Well,
and I did like the quality.
Well, like, you guys go to...
It was like a fine quality.
Like, you guys would stream something, or you'd put on like Disney Plus or something. We used to go to the store and get like Blockbuster videos, and that's what it was. That was the kind of quality.
Well,
or you'd record from TV. Actually, Granny C still actually has a... Well, actually, I don't know if it's a video recorder. Perhaps she has a digital one that records from the TV now. But yeah, that's how people used to watch shows.
You think we're spoiled. and I don't know, like 20 years' time, there's going to be virtual reality for everything.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to say the shows
like,
now.
There's going to be like 360 views for everything.
Want.
There's going to be 360 views, everything.
Well, you can watch TV pretty much when you want now, because everything's on demand. But I thought that was funny that you didn't realise that was done deliberately to make it look even more realistic for 1999.
And then the next generation is going to be like, how do you watch this? How come you can't touch everything? Or you can't feel...
It'll be more interactive, that's for sure. Now,
you
Jay
can
wants to
watch it TV whenever you want. Like, pull it up on a bionic guy.
Jay's using his
He's
hands
been
to demonstrate something.
He's been
That's
watching
some
too
film.
much Lab Rats.
That's some type
Because
of
they have
film.
bionic chips to make them have superpowers.
Before we get to the matches, I saw the commentary was by Hugo de Manzana and Andori too. Now, we normally try and do this as 3 matches. One is the main event. The second one is the match we most want to see, and then one of them is somebody we don't know, so we can actually go look them up. So, Jay, do you have the people who were in match 1?
Yes. Big Game Leroy.
Yep.
Denny Hackenschmidt.
Hackenschmidt.
Tough Guy, Buff Guy, and Molly McCoy.
Molly McCourtney, but it was Molly McCoy, you're right. And that was true with all of these, like, some of them played characters. Big Game Leroy, I think his name is Big Game Leroy, as far as I could tell. Like, some on Cage Match, it had their actual names there. For Molly McCourtney, if you clicked on it, it took you to Molly McCoy. So there were some that were on there. You think you recognise Tough Guy, Buff Guy as well, right?
Yeah, I think it's Matt Tremont.
I think you're right, and I didn't notice that first time. I was obviously not paying this close attention as I
was
thought.
hoping to see a different Matt Tremont match against Ricky Shane Page, but I mean...
We'll see that at some point. If it is Match of the Year, as people have said, then I certainly want to watch that match as well at some point. And Denny Hackenschmidt, I'm not sure. And that was kind of difficult to research these, because normally I would research the people, but some of these it wasn't the real name. So if we hadn't have known it was Matt Tremont... we already talked about Matt Tremont anyway, so I wasn't going to do that for this one.
There's a whole 20-minute clip out there.
Now, I looked actually up Big Game Leroy. I liked him straight away because he came out with the Game Boy Color.
Yeah, but he uses cheat codes.
And video games.
It said at the end he hasn't used cheat codes since 1999, but I thought that was pretty funny as well. I love that whole thing. Like, I guess the modern equivalent is the millennial who kind of comes into the ring with the telephone and he's there tweeting as he's coming into the ring and that sort of stuff. But I thought that was like a cool little gimmick for that one there.
Yeah.
So I looked up Leroy Green. I saw somebody gave him a review actually. It says, Leroy Green is a very fun wrestler with a great gimmick. He is essentially that 90s kid, that early 2000s kid, a nerd anime video game-based wrestler. Often comes to the ring with his GameCube, which works as a great weapon. Leroy Green is a good face and easy wrestler to cheer. The future is bright for him, and I look forward to seeing more of him in the NYC indie scene. So actually, that was probably pretty close to his real character. So I didn't realise that at all. It was only once I started looking this up. I was looking at one of his recent matches. He actually appeared in that Camp Leapfrog as well. He was involved in the match, the over-the-top rope costume contest battle royale. Kaya McKenna actually won that one. We talked about her in the last event. Go ahead, Jay. Talk to us about this match then.
So right now, a nice move by Big Game Leroy.
Okay, what was the move?
I think it was a jockey from the top of the truck. Or jump.
He jumped from the top of the U-Haul and he took out 2 people. He took out Tough Guy, Buff Guy and Denny Hackenschmidt. Because Molly McCourtney was lying on the grill, I think, at that point. Yeah.
Is that it?
That was it, JJ?
Yeah.
I know it was, because he told us he had two things written down, and the other one was that the cat joined us for the match. I think originally we said that you didn't want to do this one because you already knew who Molly McCoy was. And I said, well, there's still 3 people in here on this one. So I think this was more for me.
Yeah, we know who Matt Tremont.
I think this was more for me and Jay at this point. So do you have anything else, Mason?
Yeah. So Leroy and Dennis have a Game Boy duel, and there was the jump off of the U-Haul. Leroy then does a Karoya, which is, I don't know what it's like. It's like some anime thing.
Oh,
where
okay.
He puts his hands, like there's a ball in it, and then he thrusts it forward.
Like a Pokemon ball?
No, you throw that like a baseball.
Oh,
you put your hands like it's gonna like you're gonna snap them.
Oh, okay.
And then you just thrust your hands forward.
Or like
and
this.
It was like a Kamebaye, whatever it was called. And he won, and with that... And
so he was the first person to make it through to the next round.
Molly McCourtney tried to pin 3 seconds after, but big guy, tough guy, buff guy kicked out. And Danny won with a roll-up, and I think, I already talked about that. He beat Matt Tremont.
I got a few more things for Big Game Leroy. He actually appeared on the September 5th AE Dark show. He faced the Inner Circle, which was Ortiz and Santana, and he tagged with EJ Lewis, and they had a 5-minute match. So sometimes when they come in for those spots, they only get like a couple of minutes or whatever. So it wasn't like a squash or anything. So they got a few minutes. That was pretty cool. And it's possible you might see him, Mason. I know you're into all these death matches recently. He was involved in a 6-way scramble at CZW to Hell and Back. Casey Navarro defeated DK Metcalf. DK Meadows, and DL Hurst, and Aaron Ashry, and Chris Bishop, and Leroy Green. So he has been involved in some other things as well. All right, match 2. I think this one was Mason's possibly, but Jay, do you have the entrance for match 2? I don't know what you have on your sheet.
Down.
Mason, you got him?
Yeah. I have.
This is the one that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, Robbie Kid versus Pancake.
That's not match 2.
That's the one I wanted to talk about.
Okay, well, we're not there yet. All right, match 2 was Adari 3 versus Chuck Brisket versus Rib Hamilton versus The Bodyguard. Do you have anything for this match, Jake? This is not one we're reviewing specifically, but if there's anything you wanted to add in, you can. While you're looking, I'll read what I had. The commentary said the apron is the hardest part of the ring in 1999, not the steel ring post, which I thought was pretty funny. I thought that was a good line. All right, match 3 was Tony.
Hey.
Oh, you didn't think you had anything?
Yeah. I thought it was a 2 count, and also Cool Beans.
Oh yeah, this is when you kept saying Cool Beans. I remember that.
And the one thing I have is I wish Chuck his middle name started with an A, so his name would be Chuck a Brisket.
I hope you can catch hear my face palm on the.
I will
country.
do the next match.
Go ahead, match 3.
Down.
Who was it?
Tony Hawk versus Rick Rocket.
It was. Do you remember who Tony Hawk was?
No.
Travis Huckabee.
Travis Huckabee. Mason and I have seen him a few times. And Mason reminded me, you've seen him too, actually, at Flying V. But I'd forgotten about that one. And that wasn't one we're reviewing, so shall we keep going?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You have something for match 3? Go on then.
Cool Beans.
Okay, you already said that though. Match 4, Bout for Clout 99 semi-final match, because obviously I have to have a break in between. So it was Denny Hackenschmidt versus Babyback Rib Hamilton. Anything to add for this one, guys? I think we were just enjoying the advantage of this format is we can actually enjoy some of the matches without trying to write things down, and we can enjoy it just for what it is.
Babyback
All right,
ribs.
let's keep going then. Match
Ribs.
5 was the person who got through was, I believe it was Rib Hamilton. I believe that was the person that won that match. All right, match 5 then was the second semi-final, which was Big Gay Leroy versus Chuck Brisket. Chuck Brisket won this one. Anything to add into this one, guys?
No.
All right, match 6 then. This is the one that Mason picked as his one that he wanted to see the most, which was Kid Magic versus Pancakes. Go on then.
No, for the last.
We're not on the last match. You're on match 6.
No,
all right, Mason.
5.
Now I couldn't find much. I
number
couldn't
5.
find much about Pancakes. When I looked, obviously Pancake is such a generic word.
Yeah.
Somebody on Twitter is called like Wrestling Pancakes or something, but I don't think it was that.
That might be a
person.
new day.
I looked on, well, that's the problem as well. Yeah, like I looked on Facebook, like the name sounded familiar to me though, so I looked, but yeah, I didn't really find much. And same for Kid Magic. The only thing I found was, do you guys remember the WWF film WWE film, that we watched, which was the little kid, and when he put a mask on, and then he suddenly became super strong. That was basically what came up when I did the Google search, because it's Kid Magic mask, and then it kind. So I couldn't find anything for Kid Magic either. So
they announced Kid Magic as Robbie Kid.
Oh, they did. Oh, I missed that part then.
Yeah.
Well, if I'd have known that, I could have probably looked it up.
That was an awesome drop kick sell by Robbie, and Robbie went under the ring. Robbie pokes Pancake's eyes, then wins with a roll up. I
think one of the things actually we're missing between all these matches is there's all the segments in between where Kennedy Copeland is also being the kind of hostess. Yeah. They also had the countdown to the millennium as well, because you guys were like, "What's that?" Well, it was like it's like Happy New Year, except it changed from 1999 to 2000.
They were freaking out that all the technology was going to go haywire.
It was supposed to, yeah, because they were saying like, "What's going on here? We don't know what's happening here." The other thing we forgot to talk about right at the start was why there was no people there. Now, obviously for 2020, nobody was there because of social distancing. They said that there'd been like
a fight.
Fans had got involved in the wrestling in 1998 version. So they had to do this one with no fans.
Yeah.
You said that the cars were from. I didn't write this down. I'm not sure why. I'm pretty sure Mason said this one, that you thought the cars were from like the 1930s or something.
No, I didn't.
There was
he
something.
said pretty cool cars for 1999.
I had something. I don't think all my notes are here because I wrote something down in relation to that. But okay.
I have something else before this match.
Okay.
But Robbie did like the worst magic trick of all time. Those wrestlers, they they thought it was so
Whoa.
cool. So
Uh-huh.
what he did, he got a deck of cards, and obviously he stacked them before so they were in order. And and he showed the 6 of clubs, then the 7 of clubs. Then he cut the deck in half, and then he showed like the 9 of spades, and then the 10 of spades. And everybody's running around screaming, thinking it was so cool, but it was
Like, woo!
I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny.
It was kind of funny, but it was kind of frustrating because of how bad it was.
All right, are we on to match 7 then?
Yeah.
All right, match 7 then was Y2 Johnny Co versus Kennedy Copeland. Now, I have actually seen some Pizza Party wrestling matches before. I nearly went to their very first one because it was on WrestleMania weekend, but it didn't start. I think it was on like a Thursday, and I think I travelled up on the Thursday, or it was on the Wednesday, and I couldn't quite make it in time anyway. But I remember seeing it on IWTV and watched it. Y2 Johnny Co was actually against Faye Jackson in the very first one, so I saw that one. I think the Ugly Ducklings appeared in one of them as well. I'm not 100% sure, and I actually watched 2 or 3 more of them. But with them being such gaps between and not watching it regularly, I don't know all the characters. Y2 Johnny Co I had seen before, and you were like, "Oh, what's his real name?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can't tell you what his real name is." Now, I said I was going to reveal something on this one. I did not pick up on this at all. And we even just talked about the Millennium, so I don't think you guys picked up on it either. Y2J. I did not pick up on that at all at the start. So that's Chris Jericho's theme.
Yeah.
So they went with Y2 Johnny Co. And the only reason I picked up on it was he did the Walls of Johnny Co. And I was like, oh, like Walls of Jericho, that's pretty cool. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're an idiot.
I figured out that it was like exactly like Chris Jericho.
I did from that move, but I didn't pick it when he said his name was Y2 Johnny Co.
I figured that out, but
okay.
I just didn't put the 2 together.
And I actually liked it because Kennedy Copeland was basically being The Rock as far as I could tell. Know your role and shut your mouth. It doesn't matter what your name is. This is before they even started. Y2 Johnny Co talked for like 3 minutes because I don't think Kennedy was happening. Oh, what do you notice about the microphone, JJ? Well, you didn't even think that Johnny Co had a microphone.
Yeah,
I think he did.
It was like a spray can. It was a spray.
It was.
Yeah, because
and
Kennedy.
Also, I noticed. I think that Kennedy Copeland was using a giant mayo jar.
No, it was Kleenex. It was Kleenex.
It was Kleenex. I actually thought it was. What did I think it was? Like those wipes. I thought it was like.
Yeah, it was wipes. Kleenex
okay.
wipes.
Now I was thinking it was like Lysol wipes.
Oh,
like
no.
the. Because I was thinking for like social distancing and that, I was like, perhaps they have those around, so they just use that. So they were just mucking around with things like that as well.
You know what would have been cool if once they hit the Millennium, that they played like an old clip of the Falcons for the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, okay. I had no idea where you're going with that. They said that she was going to do the Copeland elbow or the People's elbow or whatever they call it. So she was clearly playing The Rock, and that's when I finally pieced it together. I was like, they're basically both doing stars from the 2000 around that era. Which I kind of liked anyway. I can't remember if it was around this one, then when they went back to the countdown. It might have even been in the middle of the match. And it counted down, it was like 7, 5, all the way down to 0. And then it was like, oh, so this is the new millennium. It was still light outside, though.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That to me was a little bit...
doing?
That was a little bit random.
What were you doing when it hit midnight?
I'd actually travelled back from... I'd actually travelled across the Granny Seas. And I'd actually travelled back. And I don't think I got back home until... about 11:30 at night, and yeah, I just stayed in at that point.
Were you worried?
No.
Oh.
No,
Was it like a joke, or was it like a real thing?
People were really worried about it. No, it was a real word that all the computers could go down, and that could like crash everyone's electric. Airplanes could suddenly crash to the sky. Could suddenly fall from the sky.
Yeah, I watched this Simpsons episode where Marge, Bart, and Lisa wanted to go to like the New Year's party, but Homer was super worried about it, and so he locked them in the basement, and he put like some protective stuff around it, and then after midnight they walked out of the house and they were the only ones around.
Yeah, no, it was like, I wasn't going to go to London or anything because it was like crazy. It was like everybody wanted to make such a big deal of it. They built the Millennium Dome in England as well, which I've actually been to with Mommy actually to go see a hockey event. They had a couple of teams over. I think it was the Ducks, and I don't remember who the other team was. They had an NBA, the first NBA game in England was held there as well. So yeah, they had a few things. But no, I was traveling. I was in Cornwall over Christmas, and then I just travelled back because I figured at that time it would be fairly quiet.
Yeah.
So, and it turned out to be that way. Now, it's kind of good that we actually did have some things for this match, because we were looking, we actually did this over 2 nights. We watched the first one, we started this fairly late. We watched about an hour, and then we're like, alright, it's time for showers and stuff like that. We got 20 minutes to go, we can watch that the next day. And we were like, well, that match went on this match has gone on kind of a long time. Like, the main event's going to be, like, super short. I'm like, yeah, I guess it is going to be kind of super short.
Yeah.
So, the main event then, match 8, the Bout for Clout 99 final match, Chuck Brisket versus Rib Hamilton. They started immediately on the outside. The match didn't even really finish.
Yeah.
They're rolling around the floor. So, go ahead. Tell us about the main event, Mason.
Then, like, a note came up that the law enforcement shut it down. And so then they went on to the different stuff, like where everybody else was, like the Robbie kid, he disappeared, and one of them is now a bioengineering. And something I remembered, they were absolutely, like, they had like a sponsor. They were absolutely doing the most of it in one match, but I forgot to write it down. It was like rocket fuel.
Oh, the drink.
Yeah, so that commentator was like...
That would have been Johnny Rocket.
Yeah.
Rick Rocket, sorry.
Every time he said, he was like promoting the heck out of it. And
I don't think that's the real drink, though. I think
yeah,
that was
it's
just
not a real drink, because after it said that the rocket fuel contains diesel.
Well, they did the same thing with the guy who came in the match 1. Like, the guy who came in with the Game Boy.
He doesn't use cheat codes.
But then, he said that at the end. He hasn't used them since '99. The other guy came in with a menu, and he was promoting that restaurant. And he said at the end as well, the restaurant has been since closed or something. But I kind of like that documentary style, how they suddenly flash forward 20 years and they talked about what's happened since that time.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that. I actually thought right at the very end they would go back to the forest. Like, the guy would take the videotape out and then either say, oh, this is really good, or go, this is terrible, and then snap it in half or something. I don't know. I thought they were going to go back to...
he would end up... he was going to do that, but there was going to be a party of people.
I liked how they finished it up, because it totally messed up our plan of reviewing the main event.
Or all the wrestlers
no main event.
were behind him, when he did it, they were like coming out of the forest or something. That would have been cool.
I thought they would have.
The note at the end said that nobody deserved to be in the main event.
Oh yeah, nobody won.
Main event.
Nobody won.
Yeah, nobody won. Yeah, they didn't. Nobody managed to do it. So
the police have gotten involved in 2 straight events.
I thought it was like, did you see that coming? Because
no,
if I'd have written down 100 things that could have happened, I would not have predicted you'd go through the whole setup of having a tournament and then there being no main event. And you getting caught up by the police. I love that.
There actually was a main event?
No, it wasn't. They fought for like 1 minute. They were rolling on the floor. That was about it.
Yeah. That was the main event.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I
thought it was great. It totally messed up our review, but being totally caught out, I love the fact that they actually did that. Jay, I know you like to give stars for events, so you normally go out of 10. I know Meltzer goes out of 5, so how many out of 10 are you giving this?
Let me think. Mason can go, right?
Mason, go first, alright.
I'm gonna give it like a B+, 87%.
8.7 out of 10?
Yeah.
That's very specific. Alright, JJ?
A.
Oh, you're giving it 8, so you're going 9 out of 10. I'm going to go 8 out of 10. I thought it was solid. I like the fact that it wasn't too long, but I thought they could have... I would have liked to have seen a little bit more. I would have liked to have seen the police come in. Now, I'm sure that would have been difficult, though, because you wouldn't be able to... You'd actually have to have a police car. Or I guess you could have somebody dressed up as a cop and then running in and, like, tackling them to the ground or something. Taking away in handcuffs. Like we talked to Ethan Case. Like, he dressed up as a police officer when he arrested... Ethan Cross, sorry. When he arrested Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Just before WrestleMania, I get WrestleMania 35. I thought they could have done something like that, but that didn't really detract from it. I thought the whole event was fun. I think that was the important thing. I liked the gimmick. I know Impact did a similar thing when they went back to, I think they went back to like the 70s or the 80s, and they dressed up all their characters. I don't think you actually saw that one. It was like a 2-hour show. I think they're fun. Like, would I want to watch it every week? No. Would I want to watch it occasionally like this?
Wrestling. I keep asking, you need to watch that. It's so funny.
What is it again?
Southpaw Regional Wrestling. You
Yeah,
can find
I
a
haven't
lot
watched.
on YouTube.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning it. I haven't looked it up. But no, I thought it was a totally fun event. Now, last few weeks, we have been reviewing The Masked Wrestler after we've done our reviews. And we can't this week. We're doing this on Monday because I'm on teacher work days this week. So we had a bit of time at the end of the day. We're not having lessons tomorrow. So we recorded this one a little bit earlier. So the following week then, we'll probably just review match week 4 and week 5 together, I guess.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to mention? Jay, anything else on that pad? I can see lots of little pictures.
Yeah,
Didn't you draw a picture of a pancake for the match with Pancakes?
Yeah.
You failed to mention that. Is there anything else on that? Wonderful note taking
We
there.
had the most silent guest on here, Jessie.
She's not causing any trouble. She's actually asleep
Yeah,
today.
she's just laying on the floor next to
when
us.
me and you were there, she will.
Can we do some of the thing where you could just talk about anything random?
No.
Go ahead. What do you want to talk about, JJ? If you don't want to listen, people tune off right now. But what do you want to talk about, JJ?
I have no school for Tuesday and Wednesday.
By the time this comes out, this will already be several days in the past. However, you will have the Monday. Well, you won't have the Monday off, but it'll be a virtual day. And then actually coming up, you get Wednesday off the following week. Did you know that?
No.
Veterans Day.
Oh yeah.
So you'll have that day coming up, and it won't be that long then until
And
Thanksgiving.
Election Day is tomorrow.
Election Day, as we're talking, will be tomorrow, so I actually get the day off for that as well.
Oh, it'll be last week.
Yeah, Thanksgiving, when it comes up, you only actually have one day at school that week.
Yeah,
Potentially, because
nice.
Monday's virtual. Wednesday you always have off now. Thursday, Friday obviously is Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
you guys got a few days coming off, days off.
That's nice.
And then it won't be that long till winter break after that either. So
Yeah.
It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye to me.
And it's goodbye from them.
Goodbye.
Music was Zigzag by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. http://creativecommons.org/licenses/by/3.0/
Alright, we originally said we were going to talk about episode 4 of The Masked Wrestler, the following episode, and then we just realised we could just record it now and just add it onto the podcast we recorded earlier in the week. Alright, JJ, are you doing all the intros then for this?
Yeah. It's the JGB Wrestling Podcast.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Mason's being a bum. And
This is going to be the most... Might have to... And who realised I'd have to edit a 6-year-old's podcast for content?
no.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Alright, you've done the introductions then, right?
Yes.
Alright, go ahead.
One, though.
Tell us what you want to talk about on this episode of JGB then.
But first, you could ask me if you have anything written down.
Do you have anything written down?
No, you.
I just asked you.
No, I meant you.
Do I have anything written down?
Or do you have it stored?
I don't have anything written down
Do you
because
have
I watched it before.
Stored in your brain?
Kind of. I watched it Thursday morning, I think it was, so it's Friday night right now, so I'm hoping I can remember.
Yeah,
It was on in the background while you guys were watching
Yeah,
it. It's not like I
Mason-
didn't hear it.
Could say some stuff that he stored up in his big brain.
Alright,
I
Mason?
mean, in his little brain.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I don't remember who, but one of them was they were trained by a former NXT champion.
Mhm.
Yeah,
one of
Trey
them was
Lamar.
Trey
Okay.
Lamar, and one of them was Stokely Hathaway's son.
I don't know about
I
that.
mean,
He
was
list-
Stokely Hathaway?
It said Stokely
It's
Hathaway
Stokely
Jr.,
Hathaway
but was
Jr.
one of the characters, but we don't know.
I remember
But
it
like
was
I
Trey
said last week,
Lamar's.
though, last week it said that he was like all to do with Nick Gage, and then he wasn't. So it could have been, with it being 2 true and 1 false, that might not have anything to do with Stokely
Trey
Hathaway
Lamar
at all.
might have been. He might have been trained by a former NXT champion because
He might.
Stokely Hathaway Jr.'s. It was he likes. Oh wait, no. Trey Lamar's was I like animals. Oh no, this was Stokely Hathaway Jr. I like animals. I am Stokely Hathaway, and the other one was I think I'm a very good wrestler. And Trey Lamar's was I was trained by a former NXT champion, and the other ones I don't remember.
Oh, it sounded like you said initially Trey Lamar's was I am Stokely Hathaway, and I was about to go, no, that's definitely not true. I said for this one, because you actually asked who it was, because I'd watched it earlier, and I said, I don't think you're going to know who this is.
Yeah, you already
Okay.
sold us
I've
a
seen-
couple days ago.
I'm going to be reading my first note. That way was gnarly, dude.
Alright, what else have you got besides it was gnarly?
They're on the ceiling.
No, they're not.
What?
I had my head upside down.
Do you have anything written down to do
Oh,
with
he
this?
was
Yeah.
looking upside down.
Oh, okay.
Song now? Right here, Dad?
That's it.
No.
I was going to say, I'd talked about Trey Lamar on Good Cop, Bad Cop, because I
Yeah.
saw him in the
And my
Turbo...
last thing,
Hold on, I saw him in the Turbo Graps tournament, and I said that I'd never heard of him before, but he was really good, and I wanted to see more of him. So I just certainly didn't recognize. I wouldn't have known that it was Trey Lamar just from watching that clip. I hadn't seen enough of it. But we have discovered now what we messed up on last week. So the mask revealed. Once they've said who it is, they then show one of their matches from IWTV on there. So we actually just started it. It's actually Eddie Kingston from AIW, which I've actually already seen, actually, but you guys haven't. You said you wanted to watch it. So I think we're probably going to go back and watch some of the other ones as well. Because I know the match 3 that came up was the one from Beyond Wrestling, when Lady Frost tagged with Savage Gentleman, and I know that was really good. So we might go back and watch some of the other ones as well. All right,
Yeah.
Jay, what was your last thing then?
that's it.
It was Trey Lamar.
Your last thing was that's it. Okay.
Now,
They're both pretty acrobatic, though.
Mm-hmm. All right, you gonna finish the podcast then? Are you gonna do the outro?
uh-huh. That way was gnarly. Boom.
Boom.
I'll do.